Hi guys, I'm Anita and I'm back with another video. Today it's time for a new type of video on my channel. I've been thinking about doing this for a while, and if it comes up, it means that I figured out how to edit this. But this is going to be my TBR Unwrapping Revisited. That means I'm going back and watching a TBR Unwrapping that I've done before and checking out what is my progress with those books. Have I read them all? What were my thoughts on them? And what am I gonna do with the ones that I might not have read? My plan is, a lot of other people who do these type of challenges just ends up donating the books if they don't get to it. But I'm gonna give myself at least not a month, only a month's leeway, but 2 months leeway. Also considering sometimes I have quite a few books to get through the remaining ones. And then I think maybe if I don't get to them, I will only have one save, like a lot of other people's do. So yeah, I hope I will be able to do this, and because if I don't read them, then that must mean that I'm not really interested in them any longer. So I have some books that are really large on my TBR, but I don't think they're gonna be part of it, the beginning of this. But yeah, let's go and watch the first unwrapping I did and see how I've been doing with that one. At least it's one of those shorter ones where I only have 7 books that I unwrapped, and I'm pretty sure I read the majority of them, but I'm also pretty sure there's some I haven't. But let's get into it and see how it went, and hopefully it's not too bad. Hi guys, I'm Anita and I'm back. I used to speak so slow when I film my videos, and I apologize for that. I am going to move on to, because I have a big gap where I'm explaining my rules and what all of the different wrapping papers represent or mean. So I'm gonna move ahead and go to when I start opening the books. Let's start out with the science fiction wrapping paper. I think I know this one it's either John Scalzi or it's Watership Down by Richard Adams, because those are the only ones that I have in mass market size. Yeah, it's Fascination by John Scalzi. And yes, as I said, John Scalzi is the first pick, and I have already read this one. I absolutely loved it. It was just as amazing as I expected it to be. It's like one of my favorite sci-fi books I've read so far. I mean, I'm not the most avid sci-fi reader, but I did really enjoy this one. I loved the fuzzies, they were adorable, and I actually really liked the legal aspect that this one took, and I can't wait to read more from John Scalzi. I've already read The Interdependency, The Collapsing Empire as well, but it didn't come as high as this one, but I still really enjoyed it. So very much looking forward to reading more from John Scalzi in the future. So 1 book down, and yes, I read it. And then the next one is my contemporaries, and I think I know this one is because I only have one really short book, but I was like, I need just a short book. Yeah, this is Sound Bites by Sound Bites by Rachel Berg is a rock and roll romance, sort of short story novella type length. And I read it, I think I read it for a readathon, maybe booktubeathon. I'm not really sure if that was the readathon that I read it for. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I think I gave it 3 to 3.5 stars. I don't remember the exact rating, but at least I did read it. So my thriller, horror, suspense, sort of mystery books. And let's see what this is. But you know, this will be like Christmas every time I have to do an unwrapping. Did you realize that? Is this? Yeah, it's so fitting. So this is The Woman in Cabin 10. Oh yay, another finished book. The Woman in Cabin 10 is another book that I've also read. It did take me quite a lot longer than I thought it would, because I had actually intentions of trying to read it at the time, because it was a book of the month kind of book when I picked it. But I have read it now. I didn't love it, but it was okay. It had its moments, and it also had its not so great moments. But I read it and I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. So it's all going well so far, but it could really change. Like, I'm not sure. I mean, it's only 7 books and we're 3 books down, so there's at least only 4 books left. I'm pretty sure this is Vision in Silver by Anne Bishop. This is my urban fantasy paranormal romance books, and I'm pretty sure it's the 3rd book in the other series, because I only have so many mass market books. Yeah. Yes, that's it. This is one of the books that I haven't finished yet. It is Vision in Silver by Anne Bishop. It is book 3 in the other series, and I loved the first 2 books. So I thought I would easily get through this one, but I am at this present time 172 pages into it when I stopped, and it just didn't grab me as much as it has done previously. But I'm going to try soon and pick it up again, because I don't want to get rid of it. So by the end of September, hopefully I'll have this one read. Otherwise I'm going to have to give one of the books up. So let's see what ends up happening. I don't want to give this one up, but I'll also be able to have it saved. So it depends on how many books I have by the end. So that is one that's on my TBR. And the next wrapping paper I'm already starting to open is my literary historical fiction sort of books. And I think I saw what it is. This is actually a Danish author, so that's exciting. I haven't read a lot of Danish authors before, so this is called, in Danish, the title is Kadaverdoktoren. This is one of those that I really put off, and that is Kadaverdoktoren, or in English it would be Dr. Death. This is by Lene Kaaberbøl. Lene Kaaberbøl is most known for her fantasies, but she also has been writing some mysteries and apparently some historical stuff. And this one is about a young girl's body. In their nostrils, they find some small mites that normally only is found on dogs and wolves. So where do they come from, and why? And has there been a reason why the girl died? That is the question the 20-year-old Madeleine and her father, the Dr. Albert Carnot, very much would like to know. Preferably before more bodies are going to show up. In a medium-large French province city in the 1890s, Madeleine's scientific ambitions is frowned upon, and it will not be easier or undangerous for her to try and follow those leads. So it does sound good. Another book I've added to my TBR to try and finish by the end of September. So these, the last books I have here are my fantasy books. I really don't remember which books were wrapped up in this one. I hope this is a good pick. I kind of hope it's Bad Unicorn, but I don't know if it is that one. So let's see. Oh, it's not. Oh, I'm actually also really excited about this, because this is The Novice. Yay! Where is it? So this one is The Novice by Taran Matharu, and I read this one. I actually read it quite soon after I unwrapped this one. I think I ended up reading it in September or something like that. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it had some really good premises, and I've heard that the series only gets better with the second book and forward, so I'm looking forward to getting to that whenever I do unwrap that one, because I haven't unwrapped it yet. But I have I did really enjoy this one. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It's fun, so yeah. This. And the last is obviously the other sort of this fantasy genre. I don't know what this is. Oh, so this is Fallen Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. This is a very... And the last one I picked for the first round of unwrapping was Fallen Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. This is the first book in a series, and I actually ended up enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would. It was really fast-paced and easy to read, and I think it was the right time that I read it for. I have the sequel, and it's wrapped up somewhere, so I'm looking forward to getting to that. I think I gave this first one 4 out of 5 stars or something. So it's a very popular YA fantasy story. They all say it reminds them of Game of Thrones or A Song of Ice and Fire, and I don't really agree in that Game of Thrones is a lot more complex and a better thought out world. This one is just a little more flat, if you will, but it does change characters very often, and it does have some morally great characters, which I think is very enjoyable. So it was really fun to read this one, and I'm looking forward to see what will happen and if I keep enjoying this. So yeah, so that means that I only have these 2 books to focus on until September, the end of September, so that's not too bad. I know I'm not going to get to them in August because that will be the newts, so they will be part of my September TBR, I guess. So now you know that. I'm gonna try to at least attempt reading them in that month, and hopefully in October then I can come back and do the next TBR unwrapping, revisit it, and get another 2 months to try and complete the next set. But it's definitely, if I do it this fast, it's gonna be difficult because it's like 2 years ago since I posted the first one, so I've had a couple of years to try and narrow down that TBR, and some of these books are really, really hefty books, but I have been working on them quite consistently this year, so I think it's pretty okay. But maybe if I can see one year that in one video where I have really a lot of large books, I may give myself another month to try and get to them, and that will be enough. We'll see. But yeah, these are this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's not becoming too long, and I hope it works the way I wanted it to go. Definitely let me know in the comments down below what you thought about this. Yeah, I really enjoy seeing like other people do this with their hauls or something. Like Lala is the obvious one where she has the closet on hauls that she did a couple of years ago, and that is basically what inspired this whole flow of videos, I guess, that came out with people trying to revisit their hauls and stuff. But because I wrap up all of my books, that was a difficult thing to do. I couldn't really do anything about the books that I hadn't read if they were not unwrapped. So I decided to try and do this instead because I do really enjoy them. So hopefully you thought it was a fun idea as well and you enjoyed the video, and definitely let me know in the comments down below if you did. And if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video very, very soon. Goodbye!